Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today we have Carol joining us. Hi, Carol.
Hi, everybody.
Guys, this is a really exciting video. A video is about how to make someone stop ignoring you. So this is the client of Carol's, a success story where the client went from being blocked on everything to completely turning around the situation. And like usual, guys, like we say, is when you listen to these stories, use it as a catalog, use the thoughts, intentions, the concepts, apply them in your life. And of course, like always, we are going to go through some key things that you can apply in your life to make changes and manifest things in your life. So yes, girl, let's hear this cool story.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to start reading. It says, my SB and I broke up in late March during the very beginning of lockdown. We were facing some previous problems, which I unfortunately manifested, and he ended it. But he insisted that he still wanted to be friends. I was heartbroken, of course, and I mourned for a few weeks, fought to get him back, and ended up pushing him away even further, the usual. But we kept in contact for a while until I continued to push and eventually got blocked. But all while this was happening, I was certain that our breakup was a mistake and we were meant to be together. Desperate to find a way to get him back, I went through everything from talking to friends who went through a breakup and got back together, reading how to get your ex back articles, and finally landing on the law of attraction. I did my research on the law, but nothing seemed to sit right with me. It felt very superficial, and the YouTube videos I watched on seemed far too promotional to actually have the viewer's best interests at heart. Then I stumbled upon Neville and eventually Amanda's videos. I studied and studied, putting as much work into it as I could. I would see a little movement, react, and then spiral, everything seeming like it went right back to the start. I got blocked again and manifested to go away simply by affirming that he would contact me. And after an unfortunate passing in my family, he unblocked me and let me know he was always there to talk. We talked again, but rarely, and he seemed uninterested in really communicating. I then discovered that there was somebody else that he was interested in, a third party, and oh boy, I was devastated. But I knew I manifested that just because I was thinking about him moving on more often than not. I struggled for a few months, working my butt off to get her to leave and him to come barreling towards me, but seemed to go nowhere. So I decided, why not try a coaching session with Carol? And let me tell you, it did wonders. Carol told me about my blocks and how to get rid of my SB, how to get rid of my SB's like third party by affirming that
Okay.
she is in her own committed relationship with someone else. He only has eyes for me. She has no interest in him and vice versa. Not to mention, she helped me become more comfortable with the concept of manifesting and realizing my capabilities. With my new affirmations, I got right into it. Nonstop, this is what I thought about day in and day out. I would wake up as soon as I became aware it was my first thought. And before I slept, it was my last thought. At first, it was hard. It seemed impossible to not think about her. But every time there was a negative thought, I would shut it down. I would say such things was impossible because he only has eyes for me. And all that work paid off. After a while, I completely forgot about her and began affirming more communication, which Carol helped me with as well. He began calling, texting me every day and calling from his job. He would say sweet things like he wants me to do girlfriend things and that he'll always love me and treat me just the way that I have been affirming him to do so. I still struggle. I still struggled, but I made sure to keep up with my mental diet and affirmations. And not too long ago, we were on the phone and the third party was brought up by his little sister. I was upset and I hung up because I knew if I remained on the phone, it wouldn't do any good. But the whole time I was affirming that I am the only person he talks to. I am the only person he wants to talk to. The conversations with her mean nothing. The next day, when we talked about why I hung up, he told me, and I told him about, the third party. He told me that it meant nothing, that I am the only person that he wants to talk to, and the only person he really wants. That night, She was only brought up because she called a few minutes before. They were in the middle of the conversation, and when I called, he actually hung up on her to talk to me. He chose to talk to me over her. I was so happy and excited, but I knew I manifested that. And all I had to do was affirm what I wanted to hear and keep up with it. Persist, persist, persist. Not only that, but he has been saying romantic things more often than not. He even got a new card and made the day we got together his PIN number. And out of nowhere, he told me this. Things like this happen all the time now. And I'll say it again. All I did was keep up with my thoughts, use the affirmations that Carol gave me, and some of my own, and repeat them. When I saw or heard something I didn't like, I affirm and intend. Always. And it may seem like nothing is happening at first, but it is. Everything is working for you. Things happen behind the scenes and end up in your favor. I never would have guessed when things would work for me, but it didn't matter because I knew they will work anyways. Because I wanted it far too bad to simply let myself think otherwise. If you desired it, it means that it's meant to be yours. Now I'm affirming a commitment, and I know it's coming soon. Thank you, Amanda, and thank you, Carol. Your videos and Carol's coaching got me where I am now. They gave me the guidance and confidence to push forward and realize that I can create my future. I'll be back with my next success story soon.
Ah, so amazing.
I want to hug her.
I know, right?
I wish I could.
Oh, that's so awesome. I'd love to hear it. You know, it's possible for every single one of you guys out there to get what you want. Like, seriously. And I really love the compliment. I have to say thank you that we really do care and put everything that you possibly need into these videos. You know what? We don't keep it salesy. We don't hide anything back. We give it all. And we tell you, this is what we know. This is what we do. And a lot of you guys get results just from watching these videos. And some of you guys come for the extra helps of getting a coach. So, I mean, you know, thank you for recognizing that. I really appreciate it. I needed to hear that.
Doesn't it just make your day? It just makes your day.
Goodness, like, totally, you know? That is like amazing. So yeah, I mean, so everybody else out there who's like totally got someone ignoring them or blocking them, like what are some things that they can do to start changing this around?
Okay, so she mentions and she says it really clearly: persist, persist, persist. One of the things that and she did this like super fast. She just kept persisting. Every time she would think about the contact thing and the blocking, she wouldn't think of it as being blocked. She would just think of it as like, no, he calls me constantly. He calls me all the time. He calls me. He wants to talk to me. He's dying to hear my voice. And these are one of the affirmations that we worked on. Like, you know, how your voice makes him happy. He's you pushed out. So you're deciding this. And she just kept affirming these things, and he contacted her. And not only did he contact her, but he contacted her in a loving way, you know. And then with the whole third party thing, she was really good with the whole persisting, and she was really good with her intentions. And we discussed living in the end. For instance, when she would think about him, she said affirmations about, oh, he only has eyes for me, we're together, we're in this together, he wants me and only me. But then when she would think of her, she would think of her as somebody, okay, you know, she's happily in love with someone else, they have already broken up, it's over, it's done. So she would do it from a living in the end kind of thing, where like they have already broken up, it's done, it happened, and he's with me now and she's off with somebody else. So she created the whole story where everybody got what they wanted, you know. And I always tell her, like, just give her the gift of love, you know, make her fall in love with somebody else. You have that power. So right. She's like, okay, I like that, because, you know, you want to know the other person's happy too. And if that works, then give her the gift of love, you know?
You know what? And you know what? I love that, because you're double creating. So how we create is when we focus on something that comes into our reality. So whether we're focusing on somebody else being in love and a commitment, that also we're doing it for ourselves as well. You know what I mean? If we focus on somebody's life being ruined and then we say, but my life's amazing, we're still sort of opening the door to have our life ruined, because we're focusing on it, period. Exactly. It doesn't matter where we're trying to send it. We're always sending it back to ourselves, because it's like a big echo chamber, right? So that's where the, you know, always focus on what's good, always, you know, intend good for others, because really you're opening the door to have it happen to yourself, right?
Exactly. And I always say that even when you're manifesting for other people, the people around you, the people that you love, you're manifesting for them, but essentially it's your manifestation because they're you pushed out. So when you manifest for other people, she has manifested a lot of things for her family as well. This is another thing that we discussed, and she's amazing. And she's like, I manifested this for my father and for this and for that. And I'm like, well, that's your manifestation because you pushed out. So it's your reality. So it's just, you're just only proving to yourself how powerful you are. I mean, kudos to you. I'm glad that he's happy, but it's your manifestation.
Right. You know what also, like, I want to point out was that, like, you know, for everybody out there who's trying to get unblocked and trying to get communication going or trying to get anything with anybody else, is note that Carol and this client created intentions about what the other person was thinking of you. So if, say, Jerry's my specific person, my intentions would be Jerry wants to be with me, Jerry, or how Jerry feels about me, because that's where the breakdown is when it comes to a relationship. You know, it's either how we feel about ourselves, our opinion about relationships, and most definitely always what the other person thinks about us, you know. Especially when there's a third party where, like, they don't want to be with us, they want to be with somebody else, and that's how it manifests with a third party, right? So we need to shift that and really focus.
I always say you affirm who you are and you make them agree with you. So just say, like, I am the best thing that ever happened to him, and he knows it, and he's not going to let me go. So it's like, I am affirming who I am, and I make him agree with me because he's me pushed out. So I decide what he thinks. So.
You know what? Just for the fun of it, the other day, I got Andrew to say to me that he would stalk my Facebook if we ever broke up. I heard it on the radio, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, I intended on because that's me, right? You know? And I was like, so we're listening, and I heard the commercial again, right? So we were stalking, or they were talking about it again or whatever. I said, would you ever, like, stalk my Facebook if we ever broke up? And he looks at me, and of course I would. I was like, I know it. I'm like, like, why not? I don't even post on it. So I was like, I don't even post on it. So good luck, right? But like, I'm like, it's the thought that counts, right? You know what I mean?
You want to think that they are. You want to think that they are, like, stalking your Facebook, and they want to know how you're doing, and they're seeing everything that you're posting, and of course you'll get evidence of it later. So it's your story. You create. You do with it whatever you want.
Exactly. But, you know, guys, there's another great thing. You know what? If you are blocked, you know, start creating that they are on your Facebook, that they are on your Instagram, that they are sending you messages, that you hear your friends say that they were asking about you. You know, start creating some tangible evidence in your reality, you know, that you would see. Yeah, definitely. So amazing.
Yes.
You know what? Everybody's like, I've also gotten, like, comments. Like, we get people that let us know, like, how they were, like, how the updates and clients, and people are getting instant results with you. It's crazy.
Yes, thank you. I am excited. I am excited.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's going to be, you're going to see a lot more of Carol, guys. Like, but we love it. This is what we create. This is what we intend. You know, we want each and every one of you guys to be successful. And in fact, I intend that everybody that watches this video is going to get some sort of results in their life from watching this video. I really honestly do, you know. And I intend that they comment about it. Now I'm getting bold.
I intend to, so that's like double intending right there.
Exactly, right? So awesome. Well, thanks for coming on and sharing that with us today, Carol. You were absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for liking. You're welcome. I'm already going into the outro. You guys, looking for any extra help in coaching, Carol is available. The link is in the description below. And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. You guys are all amazing, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.